20 seconds, drivers, you are under starter's orders. They're off. The SST 120 National Championships being decided here right now. It's a nice start. All of our drivers off the dock, and it's Terry Rinker on the inside getting a very good start. Terry Rinker down at the far turn, into the turn first, coming down the front stretch. Boats are aired out beautifully. What a battle for second place. Brent Dillard on the outside of Ashton Rinker. Ashton Rinker on the inside, going into turn 2 right now. Dillard comes out first. Then it's Rinker, then Lee Daniels. Lee Daniels coming up fast on the inside, down the back stretch. Then the number 7 boat, local favorite, Mark Jacob. Looking to be running a little bit better than yesterday. Now back down on the front stretch. Terry Rinker pulling off with an early lead, just dancing across the water. Brent Dillard now into turn 2, closely followed by Lee Daniel and Mark Jacob. Mark Jacob now making a run on that third place boat.
Ashton Rinker seems to be falling back from the second place pole position.
Yes, he does, and it looks like Jeff Shepard's working on trying to make it on the inside of him, coming up down into turn 3. Let's see if Jeff gets a lane or if Ashton.
And Jeff Reno on the last on the dock has moved up 3 boat lengths already, or 3 boats.
Jeff Shepard now directly on the inside of Ashton Rinker as they go into turn 1. Jeff Shepard's pulled off the pass on Ashton Rinker. Jeff Shepard now several boat lengths ahead of Ashton. Looks like Ashton is fair game today, George. Jeff Reno is looking to be like the next person to try to pull off a pass on Ashton. You know, Ashton ran very, very well yesterday. I'm not sure what's happening today, but second on the start here. He's moved all the way back. Not doing as well as yesterday. Again, out front now. It's the number 10, the black and white Kniff of Terry Rinker. Brent Dillard running the wide course. Lee Daniel taking a little bit narrower course, trying to take the short way around to make up some ground on Brent Dillard. And that number 7 of Mark Jacob is running much better today, I believe, George.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it's tough to try to make up ground from a poor starting position, but Mark Jacobs doing a nice job out there. Del Book and Tyler Welch are having a nice battle back here. Tyler Welch on the outside trying to make a pass on Del Book. Del Book looks to have the acceleration. And now Terry Rinker starting to make the move into the lap traffic. I think Terry's going to do the smart thing. He's experiencing no pressure at this point in the race, taking the wide way around, staying out of harm's way. Lee Daniel looking to make improvements every lap, trying to close that gap on Brent Dillard. It's almost into the rooster tail area. Yeah, you're going to have to watch this race, boy. I think Lee Daniel in the number 2 boat, that white boat with the red stripe, I think he's going to be closing that gap on Brent Dillard. So Brent's going to have to be watching his competition coming up from behind.
That is the race on the course right now, people. We're all stretched out, and and that's going to be the race for that position.
Jeff Shepard and Ashton Rinker now back together. That's been back and forth now. Tyler Welch once again trying to close on his competition out there. Del Book in the number 18 doing a good job of holding off that young, hard charging Tyler Welch in the number 51 boat. Look at what we got now here with the lap traffic. Lee Daniel going for the inside. Brent Dillard on the outside. They're now going down into turn 3. Down the back stretch. Going into turn 3 right now. It's Brent Dillard still out front. Lee Daniel was on the inside, now swept to the outside. This lap traffic is certainly going to play a role here between the battle between those two drivers. Lee Daniel trying to find that route.
And back in the pack with Ashton Rinker and Jeff Shepard with a battle going now. They're dock to dock coming out of turn number 2.
Yeah, we mentioned it before. Ashton and Jeff have been going back and forth there. And, now it's Ashton back out in front of Jeff. Terry Rinker still holding a nice lead. Brent Dillard now coming down the front stretch here. Lee Daniel looking for that route, looking for the route with the lap traffic, trying to find a way to make that pass on Brent Dillard. Brent looks to have been in a good position. Now Lee Daniel passing Del Book in the number 18. I think that did not shape up as well as Lee was hoping. Looked for a second there, or a lap there, that Lee Daniel was going to be able to take advantage of that lap traffic and pull off a pass on Brent Dillard. Jeff Shepard looking to have a little bit of handling problems coming down that front stretch, taking some very strange hops. But again, we got those wind currents here, those infamous wind currents from Kankakee had come up at all different times. May not necessarily be the boats or something wrong with the boats, but just the changing conditions of the Kankakee River, George.
Well, and we put these things up to the ragged edge too, and something could have just started going south on them too mechanically. But Rinker's been on cruise control and he's starting to pass the field.
This race is 30 laps long, George.
Anything can happen.
It can, and as we saw yesterday early on in the program, we had a malfunction. Terry Rinker was leading the Mod U qualifying, took the white flag, and then suffered some engine malfunction and was not able to finish the race. That's just a sinking feeling for any one of our drivers, especially if you're in first place.
Oh, absolutely. And for you folks that are watching the races, watching the boats go by, take a look when they go by to the back of the boat, and you'll see the prop halfway out of the water spinning.
it's one of those
at the edge, yeah.
The great visuals that we have here in OPC racing with these tunnel hulls. You get that air flowing under the hulls, the boats actually flying through the air, and the drivers trimming these boats with controls on their steering wheel, some on their feet, And, you know, they're coming out of the turns, trimming out to pack that air and flying the boats. As they build more speed coming down the straightaways, they're trimming in to keep the boats from blowing over. Then, the most exciting part, when they hit the turns, they're not letting off the throttles here, George. What they're doing is they're trimming in and turning the steering wheel. That trimming in sets the sponsons and allows them to turn very, very sharply. They're pulling about 4 G's lateral acceleration through these turns, every turn, and it's a sight to behold. It's an amazing thing. These boats turn harder than any other type of racing vehicle in the world.
Absolutely, and when they're setting the boats, I use the term to go around on railroad tracks. Just like being on a track, going around you go. When Rinker hits one of the turns, folks, start counting 1001, 1002, and 1003. You'll see how fast they go around this corner at a 180.
So now we've got Brent Dillard working his way up onto Jeff Shepard here. You know, I'm thinking this might give Lee Daniel in the number 2 boat another chance to try to make a pass. Lee's been back there working very hard. He looks to have the speed, and he's just looking for an opportunity to close that gap with Brent and try to make a pass. Brent currently in 2nd place, Lee Daniel in 3rd place. Brent Dillard now on the outside, coming down into turn 1, outside of Jeff Shepard, the number 38 boat. Might give Lee Daniel a chance here to take the short way around the course. Looks like Lee hasn't been able to pick up any ground just yet, but just keep watching this race, folks. Jeff Shepard on the inside, now down the backstretch, going into turn 3. And it's Brent Dillard on the outside of Jeff Shepard. Not always easy to make these passes. You know, you might think, hey, this is lap traffic, this is going to be easy. You know, there's not much speed difference. You know, it could be just getting through the corners that's making the difference of lap times on this. Brent's made the pass in clear water. Now it's up to Lee Daniel. Don't forget about that number 7 boat. Mark Jacob still hanging in there. Mark Jacob in 4th place now. Doing a nice job keeping up with the leaders. Tyler Welch still trying to make that pass once again on Del Book. Again, Tyler Welch, one of our young, hard-charging drivers. He's been back and forth with Del Book a couple times already. You know, sometimes a race for first isn't nearly as good as the race that you have for 6th or 7th. And, you know, when these drivers come off the race course and they've had a great race, you know, whatever position it was for, when you have a great race, those are the things memories are made of. And, you know, there's a lot of memories being made for this young driver, Tyler Welch, right now. He's having a nice race, doing a good job out there.
And if you haven't been noticing, Ashton Rinker fell way back into the pack, almost 7th or 8th. He's on a riptide right now, going up toward the front again. Must have had moisture build up through the carburation, finally clearing it out, and he's on a tear. He's pretty wild and loose right now.
Yeah, we saw a great performance from Ashton yesterday, which put him 2nd on the dock for the start today. Started off okay, but then slowly fell behind. But now, like you said, George, he's running well once again. Lee Daniel looking to fall just slightly behind. 2nd place, Brent Dillard. Brent Dillard now has a comfortable lead on Lee Daniel. We're well into this race. I'm not sure if there's going to be enough time for him to try to make a pass into 2nd place or not. I know he was working on it very, very hard there for a while. He's not careful. And number 7, Mark Jacobs, going to sneak up on him.
Well, he just got by Shepard going into the corner. Found that speed, the rougher the water got. All of a sudden, the boat says, this is where we want to go. Let's steer it away, you know. The ever-changing course gets worse and worse and worse, and all of a sudden, that boat just came alive.
Terry Rinker just about, he is running so well today, George. Terry Rinker ran awesome yesterday, and now in 30 laps, I don't know. Terry Rinker may have a shot at lapping the whole field.
Yep.
Brent Dillard now on the outside of Tyler Welch. Tyler Welch sticking right in there. Tyler Welch now putting the hammer to it within rooster tail distance of Del Book. Brent Dillard on the outside trying to make that pass as Lee Daniel in the number 2 boat may find an opportunity with this lap traffic.
Yep, he'll take it inside and find clear water where Dillard was running through the roughed up aerated water from the propeller slip. He's still holding them off though.
Brent Dillard doing a nice job there making those passes on the lap traffic. Doing a great job making the right decisions, keeping Lee Daniel behind him.
How much effect is the humidity having on these motors? Because I just noticed Shepard start falling off a little bit, and when the sun come out a little bit, he's getting a little bit more speed. Is the moisture or the jetting on the carburetor maybe too rich? Or
you know what, George? I'm not sure. You know, it seems like if you're tuned right, the change in humidity during a race isn't all that drastic to affect the motors too much. But I have seen, you know, when you pull the motor cowls, sometimes you see a lot of like fuel water buildup, fuel oil water buildup around the carburetors. Those carburetors get very cold, and that moist air under the cowl condenses on the carburetors and builds up a film. Sometimes you look at that and wonder, hey, could that buildup be affecting it, because you know you're going to be getting droplets of water mixed with oil and fuel going into the combustion chamber. So, you know, I think it may at times, especially, you know, when you're starting to run into lap traffic, you're getting wet. So the humidity might be playing a role here today. Terry Rinker now coming down the front stretch. He is now on the same stretch as the second place boat. He's closing rapidly on the number 2 of Lee Daniel. That would be just a domination by Terry Rinker if he could lap the whole field here.
Well, the only one he's got to get is Dillard.
He's working up on Lee Daniel right now. They're all on the same stretch on the straightaways. Terry is not backing down one bit here. If you're watching Terry, you're watching that boat just dance beautifully. I think he's got it in mind right now. He's going to lap the field. He's going to show the world that he is dominating this class at this point in his career.
Oh, absolutely. And he came prepared right off the get-go. He's been doing incredible racing all season. And the Super League Series, he's the top dog there too.
You know, nothing bad to say about these other 120 drivers. Terry just has it dialed in today. And, you know, I'm just amazed. And the white flag is out. I don't think there's going to be enough time here for him to make a pass on Brent Dillard. Brent Dillard now exiting turn 4, coming down the backstretch about a quarter of the way down. Terry Rinker out. The white flag is flying. There's 1 lap to go. I'm sure Terry had that in mind. He was going to try his darndest to lap the field here, but he's not going to be able to do it. Just did a fantastic job coming out of turn 4 right now on the outside, getting ready to take the checkered flag. It's Terry Rinker in that black and white Kniff number 10. And there it is, folks, your new SST 120 national champion. Number 10, Terry Rinker, doing a fantastic job out there, driving it for all it's worth, almost lapping the entire field. Brent Dillard in second place, now going into turn 3, looking to make his last turn here. Turn 4, coming down, looking for his checkered flag for his runner-up position. What a nice job. Brent Dillard, second place, SST 120. Close behind in third place, it's the number 2 of Lee Daniels. Wow, George, what